We were told that Botox prevents wrinkles. They told us that fillers just dissolve naturally. And they started telling us that if we inject in our 20s, it's a smart thing to do because we're going to age so gracefully. Lies, all lies. The truth, we're aging ourselves faster by getting these procedures. And new research is proving that filler doesn't even dissolve. You heard it right. It spreads. It moves around in the tissue of your face or wherever you've had it filled. And that Botox doesn't prevent wrinkles. It actually causes premature sagging. And yet, women everywhere are being convinced that they need these procedures to stay youthful. 20-year-olds, 20-year-olds, they're already youthful. What the heck are they doing? Today, we're going to break down the science, the scams, and the truth that is these treatments and what they are actually doing to your face. So before you go to your next appointment, watch this video first and maybe it'll give you something to think about. My name's Kim. I'm your ex-nurse turned female empowerment bestie. Let's get into it. For years, we have been getting told that getting Botox in your 20s is going to prevent wrinkles from forming. Ever. And the logic in this is if you freeze the muscles that cause lines, they won't develop in the first place. Okay, that seems logical to me, right? But here's what they are not telling you. When your face was created in the womb, I suppose, your face is designed to move. And when you freeze certain muscles, the surrounding muscles have to work even harder to compensate. Now think about people at the gym when they are overworking certain muscles. We're not overworking, but they're working them to fatigue because they want them to grow. So what does it do? So this actually causes or it leads to even deeper, more unnatural creases over time in the untreated areas. And long-term Botox use causes muscle atrophy, which is where the muscles start to shrink and they start to weaken, which then cause your skin to sag at a faster rate. So nobody wants a saggy forehead or sagging under the eyes, but we go and get it anyway. The worst part about all of this is that a 2023 study found that women who started Botox young actually developed more wrinkles in the long term in the untreated areas because of their other facial muscles working harder. So imagine paying £500 to end up with more wrinkles. Now, a fact for you all. The research has shown that long-term use can lead to weakened facial muscles, which may cause premature sagging instead of preventing it. So this whole Botox preventing wrinkles is absolute rubbish. It's just lies. They are lying to you. Oh, I don't know why they would lie to us. We'll get to that. So for years, injectors have told us that filler, hyaluronic acid, just naturally dissolves into our body and it takes around about 6 to 12 months and that it's very temporary and it's very safe. But it turns out that it's a lie. A 2022 MRI study shows that filler never dissolves. Like, ever. And all it does is migrate. And instead of breaking down, it just spreads to other areas of your face or wherever you got your Botox, your filler, sorry. So, like under your eyes, into your cheeks, and even down towards your jaw. And I actually have this myself due to jaw and chin filler. So this is why so many women who stop getting filler still end up looking that puffy or unnatural appearance way. And it's because the product's still there. It's just dispersed. It's moved itself around. And like I said, in the past, I fell for these scams and I went and got filler and Botox. And I had filler in my jaw and in my chin because it was an area that I felt really self-conscious about. And I was told by various different practitioners, oh yeah, if we put it in along here and you put a bit more in here, then everything's going to look great. And you know what? At the time, I cannot lie, it looked good. But I haven't had any filler put in my face now for, it must be about 4 or 5 years. And I now have a really saggy face. Now you're probably looking at me and just thinking, that's just your face. I was insecure about my jawline anyway, and getting those procedures has actually made it worse. And I've accepted that because it was my doing. I should have put more research into it. I shouldn't have been led down this path that I could get these quick fixes that were going to solve all my problems. Because we know now, or I know now, that the way you learn to love yourself isn't through injections of Botox and filler and whatever else. It's through your mindset. It's through looking yourself in the mirror and saying, actually, you're fucking perfect the way that you are. But I digress. So, MRI scans have shown that filler lasts at least 10 years in your body, even in women who haven't been getting regular top-ups. So you can get filler and you can then leave it like that and never do anything for years and years and years, and it will still last the same length of time. It's not just the women who are constantly getting top-ups that are affected by this. So this is why we are seeing so many women get their filler dissolved, especially celebrities at the moment, because years later their faces start to look inflated, they start to look distorted, and they look really unnatural. But they told us it was temporary, didn't they? So you may have heard of the term pillow face that was going around for a while, and that was how people were referring to these celebrities whose faces were starting to look kind of, I don't know, like they'd been squeezed a little bit because things were going in, the cheek fillers that were up here were coming down here and things were just not looking right. So they were being described as pillow faces, like you're lying on a pillow and everything's getting squished together. So now obviously we know that all of these practitioners were lying about both the filler and the Botox. So let's break this down. Botox weakens the muscle. The muscle then shrinks and then the skin sags faster. Filler, it actually stretches your skin. It then migrates to different areas and it leaves the face looking so puffy and so distorted. Excuse me. And this is why we're seeing so many women who are in their 20s or early 30s looking way older than what they actually are. And we see it all over the place. Like, I don't watch Love Island. I used to, but I don't watch it anymore. And every single year, the girls come in and they've obviously had more and more work done, right? And then the next thing is all over TikTok, and you've got these TikTok surgeons and aesthetic practitioners who are trying to guess what age these women are. And I mean, that's probably a problem on its own, but that's not what we're talking about. So it's because they didn't let their face age naturally. They altered the structure way too soon, and now they're trying to reverse the damage that they were told would prevent the aging in the first place. So they've paid all this money to get whatever done, and now they're paying more money to get it reversed. But you actually can't reverse it essentially without more complications. So if you've had filler, there might be some of you watching this who have had filler and then got it dissolved before, right? But the product that they use to dissolve filler actually affects what's already in your body that's not filler. So you will find that a lot of women who go and get, say they've had quite quite a bit of lip filler, okay, and then they decide, I'm not getting this anymore, I'm going to get it dissolved, and then their lips look a little bit like someone's came along and punctured them, and they're kind of saggy, and they don't look the best, let's be honest, okay. Then you get this whole, oh, it was their fault because they asked for way too many mils of filler in their lips over the years. They stretched their lips too much, and it's all their fault. I mean, there's a part of this, yes, that is definitely a part. But what they don't tell you is the product they use to dissolve this filler is also dissolving your own collagen at the same time. So your lips look saggy because of the product that you just used to dissolve the filler. So one, yeah, the filler's no longer there and the skin has stretched, but you then go on to continue to damage your original body. So it's kind of a bit of a lose-lose situation. And there's also women who have came out and said that after having had filler dissolved, they've experienced serious complications, and there is even women who have had to attend the emergency room. And I watched a documentary about one woman who had to have an area of her body amputated due to the dissolving of filler. That's not me trying to fearmonger anyone, by the way, because, like I said, I have genuinely had filler and Botox before in the past. It's just about being educated. So the fact that aesthetic practitioners have now confirmed that excess filler does in fact stretch the skin permanently, making aging look worse. That's not my words, that comes from an actual study, a scientific study. They've said that if you get these products, you will age worse. Why do we continue to be sold these products if they're so terrible, if they're doing so much bad things to the women in the world? Why are they selling it to us? Oh, well, I can tell you one thing. It's dollars, dollar bills, baby. The aesthetic industry is worth 60 billion pound globally. 60 billion. No wonder they're not stopping. Social media is flooded with influencers who are pushing Botox on young and even younger people or women. And it's not just women that are affected by this, I know, but in this case we are speaking about women. The industry doesn't profit from women aging naturally. It profits from keeping you coming back again and again every 3 to 6 months, spending the same amount of money over and over and over again, and you then become so dependent on these products that that's you for life. You are like a literal cash cow. The thing is, if you knew the truth, would you continue to book your appointments? So yeah, they're going to keep these type of things under wrap. What you should do instead, the real anti-aging secrets, right? So if injectables aren't the answers, then what is? So what about focusing on keeping the collagen that you've already got, your natural collagen? Is there ways that you could enhance this and keep it lasting a bit longer? Because as we know, as we age, our collagen does decrease, which does create finer lines and a bit of sagging, and I mean, totally natural things to happen to humans. But there's people, personally, I don't really do anything for collagen, but I know a lot of people who seem to have success with it, and they use vitamin C and the SPF daily. Like, I have some friends and they are so pale, but their skin looks absolutely fantastic. It really does. I used to be addicted to sunbeds. I mean, I literally am the woman who did it all, fell into every single trend, So being tanned is best. Let's go into sunbeds every day of the bloody week, regardless of what could come from that. Get filler, get Botox, get fat dissolving injections. I've done them all. I have done them all. When I was a silly little girl. Exercises and massaging. Apparently, this is very good for keeping your muscles naturally strong. I also don't do this, but it's something I've looked into. The thing is, the reason I'm not really looking into it is because I don't mind aging. Like, it's part of life. So, hydration and nutrition. Obviously, what we put into our bodies has a massive effect on what we look like on the outside of our bodies. So we want to have nice, healthy, hydrated skin. So if you're drinking properly and you're eating your veg and your fruit, you've got nutritionally balanced meals. I'm not saying that you can't have a pizza or a McDonald's or whatever, but if you're mostly eating nutritionally dense meals, then your skin is going to look better. You're going to have less breakouts. You're going to have less wrinkles. Your skin's going to look a bit more glowier. Red light therapy and microcurrents, so proven skin techniques essentially that actually work. And you get a lot of these home red light therapies, and when I have looked into it, they say that they're probably not strong enough to really do anything, but they also aren't going to do any harm. So if you have been using one, do not threat. But when you go to these practitioners that have the red light therapy machines, these are like, what would you even call them? They're like serious bad boy red light machines. I need you to remember that aging isn't the enemy. Overfilling and freezing your face is. If you want to have beautiful skin, you need to practice proper skincare. You need to hydrate yourself, and facial exercises. And all of this can slow down the visible aging. And that is without using injectables, and also will cost you a hell of a lot less. And look, I feel like before we go, I do have to say that I'm not here to judge anybody who does get Botox or filler. Absolutely not. I have clients who do. And it's your body and it's your choice. And I need to make a very, very big point of that. It is your body. And at the end of the day, it's your choice and no one should tell you otherwise. But what I'm saying is, before you inject anything into your face, make sure you know the truth about what you're doing. Know the positives and the cons, and then make an informed decision. Don't let an industry that profits off of women's insecurities convince you that you need to freeze, fill, and alter your face at the age of 25 or whatever age you are. Because aging is inevitable, and looking unnatural, that's a choice. That is a choice at the end of the day. Drop a comment below if you have fallen into these trends. If you feel if you have felt pressured to have some sort of aesthetic work done. And have you had filler migration? Because I think we need to talk about it. And if this video made you think twice, then why not subscribe and why not like? And maybe even share it with a friend, because your face, it's not broken. Stop trying to fix it. I'll see you in the next one.